Equipment is... It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Mic checks echo, I'm the sound of the brawl. Canvas creaks, flesh slaps, bodies rise and fall. Steel cage dreams, no escape. All pain, blood stains mixed with the sweat and the chain. Adrenaline surging my veins, spit fire. Crowd chants feeding my soul's desire. Turnbuckles tremble when my wrath collides. Glory's the belt and I'm taking the pride. The squared circle where legends collide. No mercy, just a wild ride. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom, the squared circle digest. Pyros ignite, shadows dance in the glow. Ringside roar, it's a gladiator show. Chokeholds tighter than the grip of the night. Climbing the ropes to new championship heights. The mental battlefield, no room for doubt. Every move calculated, every scream a shout. The bell tolls louder than a sinner's regret. This is the place where the bold never forget. The squared circle where legends collide. No mercy, just a wild ride. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom, the squared circle digest. The squared circle where legends collide. No mercy, just a wild ride. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom, the squared circle digest. Circle Digest!
And we are live. It is the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. That is the great Frankie Fresco right down there. Frankie, how are we doing today, sir?
We're doing a lot better than last week. I can tell you that much.
Frankie's been through it. Frankie has been through it.
For you guys being transparent as possible, your boy Frankie Fresco unfortunately got into a car accident last week. And I had to look for a car. My car got totaled. So it's been a process, man. It's been busy. with work, looking for a car, the Cameo Mix show, the wrestling podcast, everything just piles up. DJ gigs, it's just a lot of work. So, but we got our car. We're good. Shout out to Acura of Pembroke Pines. I know they're a sponsor. Shout out to them. I was able to get an Acura MDX. So I'm happy about that. And I couldn't have done it without you and Big O. You guys mentioned it, and I went out there. So good stuff.
Well, we thank you. We thank you because that's what keeps us going with the Big O Radio Show. Going out there and hitting the sponsors. I'm just glad you found something. Man.
What's up with this?
I saw it. You know where I took it from Finn's TV. I watch it on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. and I'm like, what is this thing he's got? And I know Sammy knows all the ins and outs of this thing that we call EV Mux. And I said, I got to go find this thing. And I found it, and I'm like, hey, here we go. Let's just put it up there and see what happens.
I like it. And
there it is.
Finn Sammy,
and also,
absolutely right.
Sammy is the one that does the intro as well. So thank you very much, as always. And he's already reposted the stream. I mean, what more can we ask for?
And he actually gave me a shout out for being third on the Finn's TV Pick'em League.
Man. Wow, good job, buddy. Kicking ass, man. That's good stuff.
Look at that.
Must not be picking the Dolphins, huh? You must not be picking the Dolphins.
I did not pick the Dolphins to win against New England. Absolutely not. And I did. And spoiler, I'm not picking them to beat the Jets either.
Hey, if it works, it keeps you up there in third place. You're not like me down there in 26th. There's only a few people keeping me from the basement.
Yeah, Sarnia, I'm coming after that first spot. That's all I got.
Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. Get some representation.
I know.
No Doubt is in as well. We got a packed program. Thank to Frankie Fresco coming up with the topics today because I ran out of time, and we're going to use his topics mostly here today. I'm going to throw in a couple things because there's an incident that happened last night on WWE NXT.
Oh, I didn't watch
Very
it.
prick amateur move to me by WWE.
Okay.
Very prick amateur move. That's all I'll say until we get further down into it. The first topic we're going to talk about is WrestleMania. In 2 years, not in 26, but in 27, it will be over in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
There's been a lot of talk about should Tony Khan, or anybody for that matter, run something here. And they keep saying in competition to. But I'm wondering if they couldn't do like a WrestleFest type thing and do it in the afternoon or whatever time, depending on, I think they're in Saudi Arabia. I don't know what the time difference is. Is it a afternoon PLE? I have to check the time thing. Maybe it's a 2 o'clock or whatever. So maybe it would be a nighttime thing. But to me, I'm looking at it as giving the U.S. fans something. And also, again, a lot of the legend guys that, they count on this every year as kind of the WrestleCons and all that as a payday. And they're probably not going to be doing this in Saudi Arabia. At least maybe the WWE legend guys might be over there, but none of the other guys that, and gals also, I'm sorry, guys and gals that are affiliated with the WrestleCons and things like that. So, Frankie, you kind of posed the question, should TK do a WrestleMania type of event in the States to win over the fans since WWE is taking WrestleMania overseas? I don't know if he needs to do a WrestleMania style event. If I was him, I would ingrace myself to a lot of the indies and make it a little bit different than WrestleMania. Don't close it all off. Make it almost like the Forbidden Door type thing. And have, again, maybe you can't have the ones of the WWE ID programs or whatever you want to call them, but you could have a pretty damn decent card on a Friday, Saturday, and even do a Sunday afternoon card. You could go 3 nights with independent talent, AEW talent, CMLL talent, and those. So what do you think?
Well, first and foremost, before we continue, I don't know why in the world your internet connection starts to suck when we do the show. It's like cursed.
I think it's you, Frankie.
Maybe my internet connection is too strong for you, sir. Maybe it's what it is.
No, yeah, maybe it is. It's yours, man. It's probably yours. You got such better You're always better than me at everything.
No,
One day I'll
absolutely
catch up.
not. Absolutely not.
One
But
day I'll catch up.
the reason I brought this topic up, guys, is
Hold on a minute. Hey, get the hamsters running on the wheel. Okay, I got the hamsters going. We're good.
okay,
Should
good.
be pick up in a minute.
The reason I brought this question up is because unfortunately last week we didn't we were not able to do a show, and this
Yes.
was actually one of the topics we were going to talk about, and it was because Busted Open had one of the Bubba Ray Dudley talk about
Bubba Ray. Yep.
Bubba Ray was talking about how Tony Khan should take advantage of this. The fact of the matter is WWE is going to be outside the United States. So what's a better way to gain more fans, not only by hosting an event here, but hosting their own WrestleMania? You know how they have their All In and it's huge and all that stuff? Do that. You know, that's their big pay-per-view. They're kind of like WrestleMania. Why not do it here in the States and actually do it around the exact same day as WWE WrestleMania to compete with them and actually give them an FU to them? So, I mean, look, I'm going to be honest with you. The idea that you just gave, I mean, that's why you're amazing, sir. That's why when you say, Frankie, you're better than me, absolutely not. That's a freaking amazing idea to bring in indie shows, make this even bigger, bring in the guys from CMML, whatever, in the Mexican league that they have.
CMLL.
CMLL. There you go. Yeah. CMLL. Bring those guys, do a big show to show the WWE world, hey man, even though WWE is not here, we're here and we're going to put a show for you guys and we're keeping it here in the States. And I will tell you something. I don't think it hurts them. I actually think it'll help them because at the end of the day, a lot of people won't watch AEW. A lot of people hate AEW. A lot of people find it boring. So why not? Why not do something like that?
The only thing that I could see would be a hold up type thing would be, what if it fails?
I mean, the viewership wise, it might take.
What if you do this and you run it and it doesn't turn out the way you think it will? Because again, here's the other thing you got to think about too. And I guarantee you, TKO and WWE have probably already sent out things. You know, like, hey, if you do anything with anybody else, it could hinder your partnership with us. And then the promoters will just have to take a chance and figure out what they want to do. Because again, WWE can allow their legends to go to the conventions, or they can tell them they can't go. So you hurt a lot of the WrestleCons by, you hold them. You kind of have them grasped a little bit. So it would be interesting to see how, judging by what happened last night, I would say they're in a cutthroat industry now with the TKO. It's not mom and pop's WWE anymore.
Well, here's the thing. We kind of established that because of all the new changes that they've done, and also the fact that TKO only thinks about money. So, number one, you're right. It could rub the wrong feathers when it comes to some of their talent, some of the guys that are associated with WWE, and it also could rub off TKO the wrong way too, because then that means TKO could go ahead and be like, okay, AEW, you're gonna do this to us. All right, fine, screw it. We're gonna screw you right back over. We're gonna start throwing more shows and actually move some of the stuff maybe on a Wednesday night just to compete with your Dynamite until we bury you and actually get rid of you. Because if you've seen TKO, they've done that in the what was the UFC and all that stuff. They've done that with Bellator, and they've done that with the other couple organizations out there where they've actually buried them so much that they actually bought them out. So, or they're taking
bought them out and took their talent. Yeah, they took their talent and everything. Yeah.
So, what up, Adrian? I just noticed you on the chat board as well. So do I feel that this can backfire on AEW? It can, but remember what we've spoken about a couple of times before on the show. You've mentioned that Tony Khan looks at this as kind of like a recreational thing for him to do. He doesn't take it as something that it's very, like, he doesn't depend on it. He has a lot of money. So if he doesn't depend on it, I don't see why not do it, whether it backfires or not. I think they're still going to get the the seats sold to the event. Now, you just got to be smart. I mean, they did the one in Texas and it went really well for them. So I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do something similar to that. in a pretty decent, location, and then work with the crowd and see if you really can win over some of those fans over there, because I think a lot of people were pissed and are still upset at the fact that
Oh yeah,
WrestleMania was taken out of the
it,
state and moved
it
over there.
should not. They get the crown jewels, keep them at the crown jewels, make the crown jewel a WWE style, WrestleMania style event if you want. But to take WrestleMania and move it over there, and then, I mean, you've already seen the prices for Vegas. We don't need to get into pricing shit anymore. I mean, that's just absurd.
I wonder how
And
much
now
they
you
go
want to
there.
you want to go to Saudi Arabia now. You got to fly. You got to get hotels over there. You know that's going to get marked up because they're going to want to make some of their money back. But here's one thing I was thinking as you were speaking just there. Would WWE counter AEW by running another show in the States to counter their programming? Meaning, everybody probably won't go to Saudi for the WrestleMania. Whoever they leave behind, would they run a show just to go against
Yeah, but the
with whatever
talent.
talent's not on the WrestleMania?
Yeah, but the talent is not there. The talent won't be there, man. It'll probably be like an NXT show, because at the end of the day, you still got WrestleMania. Everybody want to see the big dogs at WrestleMania, both the male and the female. And they're also going to go ahead, and it's a 2 night event. So they need a lot of talent at WrestleMania. So if they were to do something like that, it would definitely be like an NXT show is what they would do.
I'm just very interested to see how they're going to run the Hall of Fame, the Wrestle Fan Zone. I mean, I know Saudi's got their own little WWE like memorabilia or whatever it's called, fan experience over there already. But I'm wondering, like, how much of the stuff that they do here in the States is going to go over there to, because again, there's been times where, not here recently since TKO took over, but they used to have matches at the fan experience for the NXT talent or some of the other talent. They would have matches at the fan experience. Fan experience was also a lot of, meet and greets and things like that. Will you have that still over there? I'm wondering how much of the logistically can they do? I mean, are you going to do the Hall of Fame over there? Are you going to do, I guess you're going to have to do SmackDown because the talent's probably going to be there. You're probably going to have to do Raw over there because, thinking of it, they're probably going to have to take a lot of the talent with them because they need to have the talent for SmackDown matches and Raw matches and not use the WrestleMania talent just in case something does happen.
Correct.
So,
and I think I think the situation with AEW is that they could go ahead and their ticket sales are not their ticket pricing is not going to be as heavy as a WrestleMania here in the States. So it will still be able to gain that audience. And again, it's just a matter. Look, man, I think when it comes to wrestling, you just need one pop. You just need one thing to stick, and people fall in love with that person or that storyline or whatever they're doing for the fans to start getting invested, and then all of a sudden follow it. There's a reason why people love when John Cena's there, when The Rock is there, when stuff like that happens. I'm pretty sure if AEW is able to do something like that, when CM Punk went to AEW, that was a huge, huge audience that started tuning into that. Anything that could go ahead and give them a pop. So if they're able to kind of tweak something and find something, and they're affordable, that's the biggest thing. Their pricing is way more affordable than WWE. TKO is definitely killing the fan base by overpricing everything. I mean, they're not looking at this in the wrestling aspect. They're looking at this on the financial aspect. Hey, we got to make our money because we paid a lot of money for them to be in, for us to buy them. So it's just a matter of time. But I don't think it's a bad idea. I think if you do that, and I like the idea that you said, including some of these indie shows, make it a big thing.
you got to.
Make it something cool, man.
You got to reach out and get get people involved. Where do different events throughout the day, just like they do at WrestleMania. I mean, I know a lot of them aren't necessarily affiliated with WWE, but they use that time to run shows. Game Changer Wrestling (GCW) usually runs a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. So you have a lot. MLW I know has run shows there. You have a lot of independent federations that usually run at different venues throughout wherever they are running WrestleMania from, and I doubt they're going to take all the way to Saudi but I wouldn't put it back to WWE to be like, hey, we got room on the boat, we're room on the plane or whatever, however they're getting the stuff over there. You guys want to send some stuff over there, we'll find you a place to do it. Just to stick it to somebody.
Facts. It sucks, but
You know
it's
what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
it just at this point, man. And here's the thing I want to get out real quick because last night on WWE NXT, they disbanded the Fatal Influence. And they beat down, I think it's Jasmine Duke or it was one of them.
Because she's leaving.
It came out today that she's not taking the contract because financially it's not a good deal, which that's what happens in NXT all the time. They'll give them a 3-year deal and it'll be for peanuts or maybe whatever, but not that they can live on. Because again, remember, a lot of these men and women are displaced from wherever they're from. In NXT, very few of them get to fly home and back. Usually they're stationed in Orlando. Now they've relaxed on that a little bit, so some of them are going back and forth. But because she didn't want to take less money and she turned down the contract, and then, because it didn't make sense to me last night where she gets attacked in the back all of a sudden out of nowhere. She's laying on the ground. There's a cooler by her. It's Fallon Henley and JC Jane there. And then JC Jane just goes, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember exactly what she said. Something to the effect of, it was time for us to break away from her anyways. We didn't need her. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, like that's a prick move, man.
Dirty. Yeah.
That's a prick move to me. Like, if you want to write her off and she gets, whatever, do the injury in a ring or in a match, maybe, you could have had, who's her next opponent? Who's taking on JC Jane next? Lola Vice. You could have had Lola Vice lock her in some kind of ankle lock or some kind of submission and take her out right in front of JC Jane and then just be done with it. Let her go off and go on. That just to me was a prick move to be like, okay, you don't want to take the little bit of money we're going to give you? Okay, then fine. And a lot of people don't know, but she played women's soccer overseas. So it's not like she probably can go back and do some other stuff. It's not like she has to just wrestle. To me, it's just a BS move, man.
Let me ask you.
Straight bullshit move.
Let me ask you something, because they had to have run this with her, right? Like they must have ran this through her, right?
But what are you going to say? No, I'm not going to do it. Okay.
Why not? You're leaving anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe they just told her, hey, we're going to attack you and leave you laying. Maybe she didn't know they were going to say the line.
That could
or maybe they improvised the line. I don't know. I'm just saying the fact that, and again, maybe the line wasn't supposed to be there and JC Jane took it upon herself and made a thing. That's probably the statement that will come out if this gets any bigger, which I doubt it will. But if it does, it'll probably be, well, it was a moment where, JC Jane thought it was a good time to take liberties with improvising and said that statement. We don't believe it. We don't agree with it or whatever. Some silly stuff. But to me, man, so again, it's NXT. Would anybody have mattered? I mean, I've seen people disappear and nobody knows where the hell they went.
Yeah, sure.
And now you're like, now we need to do, we got to take people out. Like, oh, come on, man. Come on.
I mean, the nature of TKO, man, they don't give a damn. No mercy, my friend. No mercy.
No.
You're not with us.
It really is.
Against us.
Dude, you got your president or CEO of TKO going on a thing. It was like, well, Vince was too cheap because he was trying to keep the families in it.
Yeah, man.
Bro, I got news for you, man. And again, this is very far off. No time soon. But think about this. If I can't take my family to WWE, but I can take my family to AEW, a lot of the younger audience is going to grow up knowing AEW. And again, you can watch WWE on TV. But a lot of times when you go to the live shows, you start making a better connection with the program. And I'm wondering, down the line, if WWE keeps these price barrage of, great, you're going to have your rich audience like UFC does. The front bowl is going to be, all celebrities and everything else. And, like a red carpet event. but families will not be there. And that's, to me, what wrestling is. Wrestling is It's like, you take your little kid, they get, crying if John Cena gets beat up by Brock Lesnar, all that stuff. That's the stuff. And now to take a kid, hell, the pricing is $850 for the 4th level in WrestleMania. You take a family of 4, that's almost $3,300 once you include taxes and everything else. And that's just to get in the door.
Yeah, not to mention traveling expenses, hotel expenses, all that adds up, bro.
I mean,
that's insane. But this is a good way. This is a good way to our next topic, our segue topic, which was or is WWE streaming, right? We just finished having ESPN do WrestlePalooza, and I wanted to bring this up, and I put this as a topic, Sean, because obviously everybody now WWE is changing, right? Now this is another stream, another platform that they're using. I'll tell you what happened to me. That way you could see what happened. Also the reason why I brought this up. So I figured they say that if you have DirecTV, you're able to get you're able to get WrestlePalooza. You're able to get the streaming service. So I went.
Wait. Say it again, Frank. I'm sorry.
So one of the things that you can do if you could get it for free is if you have DirecTV. If you have DirecTV, you get it for free, right? So they weren't too specific with this because it only applies to DirecTV streaming. It doesn't apply if you have DirecTV satellite. So when I call DirecTV, and yes, I'm throwing DirecTV under the bus, I asked them, hey, can I get ESPN Unlimited? That way I could watch WrestlePalooza. They told me that they're working on it with WWE to try to get that included to be in the package. As of right now, you got to pay for it. Now, I will give DirecTV some kudos. What they did is that they gave me a whole year. They reduced my payment by like $50. So by them reducing my payment, I was able to go ahead and just order the platform. And now I have, obviously, ESPN Unlimited. I'm paying it through them. But I also noticed that when you paid ESPN Unlimited, it said for the whole year, $29.99. After the year, it increases to, I believe it's $34.99. So they're slightly moving up after 1 year. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, Sean. Obviously, I think you have it already. I think you're already included in your package because I think you have the Hulu and all that stuff. So when I saw that, I said to myself, what is going on with WWE? Like, dude, this is changing the WWE's business model. This is changing everything that we know about wrestling. The fact that you just mentioned that you have fans that want to watch the programming. You as a kid, me as a kid, my dad, when I was he would go ahead and tune in and be like, Frankie, let's watch wrestling together and all that stuff. Now, in order for you to be able to even watch wrestling, you have to pay multiple platforms just to watch this. If not, you're not going to be able to get it at all. So I'm going to you, Sean. Where do you see WWE going with this? Up to what extreme are they going to go to this? And how do you think it's going to affect us in the long run as fans? Because now it's starting to be a concern for us, the old school fan, and for any future wrestling fans.
Oh, I'll start it with this. Get Hulu Live with the ESPN Disney bundle.
Well, you saw that they're going to increase it.
All I did on my menu, boop, it was right there. I hit go to it, boom, live.
Okay.
Yeah, they're increasing it $5. They're increasing it $5.
$5 every single time, bro. Every year.
There's been a 25% increase since I've gotten it. So it is what it is. I don't pay for anything else though. So like, I got Peacock for $4.99. I got that free through Xfinity Cable actually. So my Peacock, that part of it's free there. I've got the bundle with Hulu Live, so like I'm able to the only one I really don't have is HBO Max, but I have other ways of watching AEW pay-per-views. So I don't necessarily, and same thing with WWE if worse came to worse. No, I don't think it changes anything because it's almost the same as what it was with Peacock. The problem is this. Everybody knows with Peacock it was $4.99, $7.99, $12.99, depending on what package you wanted. This is more. But also included in this package, you get college football, you get NHL, you get, I believe, La Liga, you get a lot of other sports involved in this. It's not like, you're getting this just for WWE. If you are, you might want to rethink it. But most people are going to have it because you get everything else that's coming with it, if it's not included in your cable. So I don't really know that there's a big change in it, to be honest. Now, when you talk about production, I think the production is going to get better. I mean, hell, they were advertised the whole week. They had on SportsCenter, it was Cody Rhodes one day, it was Paul Heyman one day, Seth Rollins a day, Triple H was on Get Up, Pat McAfee was talking the whole time about it there. College Game Day, on their selections, one of the selections was Cena or Lesnar when they're picking games. Like, I mean, it's going to be a big thing with them as far as with ESPN making the production, and then also as it grows and they can see what else they can do. I think you're going to see a lot more.
Now, let me ask you something, because you did mention production, and obviously you saw that they changed the intro and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
they're making it bigger for when you have, like, obviously these new beginnings, right? With these new platforms that they're using.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But now let me ask you this. How far and how extreme they're going to go with this? Because we're seeing WrestleMania going over to overseas. It's a matter of time. Royal Rumble's going overseas, I believe, as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, from Saudi.
So
place.
we're seeing a lot of these going overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a
The
trend?
next pay-per-view's overseas, Perth.
Correct.
They're in Australia for Crown Jewel.
So do you see yourself in this situation where at one point in time, it might even happen that there might be a 50-50 split when it comes to possible pay-per-views in the long run? I'm not saying right now, but maybe in the future, you might see 50-50 shows. 50% of the shows
I
being
think you're
here in
going
the
to
States, and
I think you're going to get 30% in the States. I think you're going to get 30% in the States, 60% outside the States. Why? Because they'll pay more money outside the States. So the only way they're going to get it is if somebody starts bukuing up some money, because out overseas is going to be able to dictate a lot more money, and nothing that is happening in WWE says we're doing it for the fans. Everything is about the dollar bill, or lots of dollar bills.
And if you look at,
I would say 30% of it goes overseas, and you'll get the Raws and the SmackDowns here to build up, and we'll be watching it on ESPN.
Now, I will say this: there is also like, I was comparing it to football, because look at football. Football has grown to the point where now you're seeing a lot of teams now playing in Europe. They've been playing in Germany. They're playing this year for Spain, for the Dolphins and all that stuff. So that's why you're going to see that more and more go off. Now, let me ask you this: is ESPN going to be smart enough to go ahead and include wrestling topics more into their programming? Because yes, you did have College Game Day picking, you had PTI, you had a First Take, but I'm talking about even more, going that extreme to the point where maybe they just even create a particular regular daily based show talking about wrestling, kind of like what they did with the UFC when they went ahead and they did their own particular show. Like, I think it was Daniel Cormier, and at one point in time, I think it was Daniel Cormier.
The good guy and the bad guy or something. It's Chael Sonnen.
And Chael Sonnen.
The bad guy or something like that. Yeah, something in the bad guy or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you feel that WWE is going to go to that extreme? ESPN is going to go that extreme to go ahead and start doing their own programming for the wrestling world too? Our competition.
It would
competition to us. Competition to the Rainy Day podcast too.
What are you talking about? I'm going against Raw on Talking Racing Now. They lowered it to 7 o'clock. At the same time, they counter-programmed Talking Racing Now on me. I mean, what are we doing here?
They want to get rid of
WWE.
They want to get rid of
little guys, man.
Terrible.
Jesus. But no, man. I mean, the question too is, man. Now I lost my train of thought. Or what was that
they're gonna go to that extreme.
The show. Yeah. I think you could see maybe but see, the thing is, like, Sunday morning is all NFL. Saturday morning is all college. Could you do maybe a 7, 8 o'clock in the morning show leading into College Game Day? something like that right now. I don't know, and again, when college football ends, maybe at 8 p.m. on Saturdays, or 8 p.m. on Saturdays, you counter program AEW Collision, and you throw a little talk show on there like they used to have with Vince McMahon back in the day, where they would bring the wrestlers out, you would talk with them. They'd go to like recorded matches that happened at Madison Square Garden. Then they would come back in and talk a little bit more. I could see that. It was kind of a variety show for wrestlers. They had the thing with Iron Sheik, and he was doing the clubs and kind of like just getting to know more. But again, it's not as cartoonishy as it was then. But again, they got so much podcasting going on now and everything else that I don't know what else you could include this, man.
I mean, I'm starting to think that they might even come up with.
I don't know where else.
I'm thinking that they might even go to the extreme of having fantasy wrestling out there, bro, where they invent a league. That way you could do some fantasy wrestling.
Yeah, you have a stable of wrestlers and you win if they win or whatever.
Just like fantasy football. Every week you pick something, so you could pick something for Monday night. Yeah. You could pick something for the pay-per-views and just build it up that way. And then obviously in between us friends, we go ahead and we bet money and see who at the end of the year.
We should start that right now. We should start a fantasy wrestling league. Here on the Squared Circle Digest. Yeah, we'll get Adrian involved. We'll get Sammy, no doubt. I'll even throw my papa in there. My papa will draft some people.
That's a good point.
Draft people, and then we'll do our own little things, man.
Maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe I'm throwing out nuggets out there for you guys, for us. Maybe.
And then if you win a pay-per-view match, it's double the points. If they get the pay-per-view and they win, like your wrestler.
Yeah.
Let me see what else you had there. They were you brought up like First Take and everything, and Stephen A had a lot of wrestling. I mean, that whole week leading up was a lot of wrestling, by the way.
It did.
Terrible top 5, but damn. Well, not a terrible top 5, just terrible top 1.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? He did that on purpose.
You think so?
He did that shit on purpose. Had to, man. There's no way you put Goldberg number 1.
Whoa, sir.
What?
Where is who's usually on the chat board? Who's a big Goldberg fan on our chat board? I don't think it's No Doubt. I think it's Josh. Josh is the Goldberg fan. He's the big. Where's Josh? We need you, Josh. We need you on the chat board. That way you could defend Stephen A. Smith picking Goldberg as his number 1, man. That was insane. I'm not gonna lie. I like Goldberg, but not to that extreme, bro. That was a little bit.
I mean, what the hell are you thinking, Stephen A?
I mean, they give him a grade every single time. So if I had to give a grade for that list, I would definitely give him like a D for dog crap.
I give him an E for effort.
That was pretty bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
It was not the greatest list. I mean,
it wasn't too terrible.
Like, again, he had a lot of the older. He tried to show his knowledge in wrestling. He had the Road Warriors. He had like a lot of the older talent guys. Like back in my day when I watched it, they were real. Damn it, everybody was real.
I mean, I had Ric Flair. I mean, it was okay, but I mean, damn, it was rough. It was a rough list. It was a list made by an ESPN loudmouth, is what it was. His list was a 1998 list. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. You want to talk scandals now?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the scandal that's going on. Besides, obviously, what just happened. Coincidentally, you mentioned the NXT, a little shady move. Yeah. So now we got this scandal. Now, I don't know how to pronounce her name too well. Masha
Slamovich.
So apparently, she's getting a lot of heat because she got on social media with her ex, and there's allegations that she kicked his ass. And there's
more allegations. There's videos and
I didn't see any videos. I saw photos.
I'm sorry, pictures. Sorry, pictures of it.
I did see some photos. I did see that. But come on, man. I mean, he had mentioned that I think the manager, somebody, because he's an indie wrestler, and
he's been with MLW. Akira is what he wrestles under.
Oh, okay. So then obviously she's in TNA. So she, because of this whole allegation of her domestic abuse and all this stuff, all of a sudden now she's losing a lot of stuff going on. She's
been removed from 2 events already.
Yeah, she was supposed to be at NXT. Supposedly she was going to be in NXT, and they dropped her. And I think they removed her from an indie show as well that she was supposed to make a guest appearance. And I don't know how Extreme TNA is gonna go ahead and probably punish her for this. But your take on this whole situation with the scandal and how you think she might be able to correct this in order for her to possibly save her career?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's gonna like end her career, but it's gonna take a little while to rebuild it. Again, this is from an incident that actually happened in January. I'm guessing the breakup was like in January. He was trying to keep it quiet, and one of his friends is the one that released all the allegation. But then he came out and he ended up, once it all came out, he came out and gave his side of everything as well. And again, it's never right whether it's the man beating the woman or the woman beating the man. None of that shit goes to me, man. It just if you can't get along, then just go away. Go away, man. You should never get to that point. If you can't stand them enough to where you can't be around them without putting your hands on them in that fashion, like, come on. I mean, that's it is, it's going to take some time for her to build back up. And again, she was one of the top names in TNA in the women's division. She was vying for the championship and everything else. And in this day and age, I said it probably wouldn't hurt her career, but I don't know anymore. Honestly don't.
Is there any way she'll be able to twist it around in order, maybe a story?
How do you twist around that? You seen the text? She said, "Yeah, I punched you. I beat you up."
She did.
What do you want me
that,
to do?
yeah.
I mean, you should have stopped.
I mean, at this point in time, guys, and Sean, anything can be a story. So I'm not saying that this is a good way for them to do a story. Obviously, this is a big instance, kind of like the Vince and Brock Lesnar. They kind of left that on the side, and Brock just came back. But again, knowing TNA, knowing some of these wrestlers, they might go and go to the stream and be like, "Hey, man, let's mess with this now," because you have a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah, but
as long as both of them are okay with it,
I don't think that's going to work, man. Because at this point, look, here's the thing I have with that. When I'll go back to the whole Edge, Matt Hardy, Lita thing, that happened in real time. It wasn't 6 months later this comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were on it because it was out, like, even at a time when there really wasn't a lot of technically social media like we have now. Once it got out, WWE and everybody got in front of it enough to where it was like, hey, can we make money off this? Yeah. Can you guys be professional enough to make money off this? Yes. This to me now, like, and again, I don't want to look at it from this way because, Masha's in the wrong here. If with at least Masha's in the wrong from everything I've seen so far that's been put out. Okay. Now, to me, if I'm Masha at this point, you're trying to hurt me. This is a personal attack at me. You could have put it out 6 months ago when it happened, and you didn't. You waited now, and 6 months ago, Masha wasn't what Masha is today.
That's a good point, yeah. She's grown.
She had a run as the champion and everything else, and now this comes out. And again, not making it right. I'm just saying the timing of it all, there's no way to me. I would not sit there if I was on either side of it and want it to be an angle because there's no way. That there's hate there. There's hate. There's hostility. There's hate. There's more there than just, okay, we couldn't get along. And again, that's the thing where, like, taking it back to the old times, Matt Hardy and Edge, they were able to put that to the side. They went in and beat the crap out of each other. They laid it in harder than they would on anybody else, but they made sure not to go overboard. Why? Because they knew they could make the money.
Yeah. That will be to be determined, right? To be continued, maybe something like that comes out of.
Yeah, as more things come out, maybe there's more that could come out that changes everybody's, but again, with what I've seen so far and going off the pictures, the text, and it doesn't look good.
All right, let's talk about the next topic. The next topic that we got is creative direction and safe style storytelling. So
you're not going to talk about the Roger Jackson arrest?
Do you want to talk about it? I mean, we've already talked about him so much.
That's it. Case closed. We've said it. We mentioned it. Done. Move on. Let's go.
All right. Let's go to creative direction and safe storytelling. And the reason I bring this up is because I unfortunately was not able to go ahead and be able to. I was not on the Rainy Day podcast for the pre or post show of WrestlePalooza,
Yeah.
but I did listen to you guys. And the first thing that you guys, no doubt, Roger got arrested. Yes, he did. He did get arrested.
Yes, finally.
But now here's my issue. You guys saw WrestlePalooza. A lot of you guys were saying, "Hey, this WrestlePalooza was like a souped up Monday Night Raw." It was like there you go. Shout out to the Rainy Day podcast shirt and the crew over there. So here's my issue. Here's my thing. What should WWE lean into? Bigger moments, and when I mean bigger moments is like, hey, every time you have a main event, every time you have something interference or something out of the ordinary, Mary, like kind of like what we got sold when Seth Rollins took off his knee brace and was able to come and cash in on CM Punk, or should they go ahead and focus more on the long-term storytelling where some of these shows will not be as extravagant at wow moment, but it makes sense and it still goes with the story, the long-term story that they're trying to tell us? You tell me, Sean, what do you think?
Well, I think you got to have a combination of both. I mean, you got to, unfortunately, and then also you have to have an understanding of what big moments are to me, because I honestly think they thought the big moment for this show was how quickly Lesnar deposited John Cena on his retirement tour.
That's a terrible big moment.
I'm not saying, I'm telling you how I'm looking at this. And this will lead into one of the other things, another topic later on here that we have further down. But I mean, you got to have the storytelling and storylines that, you can throw a big moment here and a big moment there, but the storylines, you have to keep them going. Like, think about like the Bloodline storyline, okay? They kept that going for how long?
A couple of years.
Right? And how many times did you have the oh shit moment during that story? The big moment happened. Sammy turning on him, all that stuff. Jay and Jimmy super kicking Roman to destroy, kind of the bloodline and lead in. That was a long-term storytelling that sprinkled in moments here and there as you needed them. That's what they need to get back to.
But then why were you and some of the crew over there at the Rainy Day podcast criticizing that WrestlePalooza event? If that's what you are expecting, you're expecting little moments here and there, but not.
My thing was no, because the problem. What I thought, I didn't really have. What I said was, it was a supersized Raw or SmackDown on steroids, however you want to look at it.
Yes,
that wasn't a great PLE. And the problem also too is you go on ESPN and you say all this stuff, and then automatically fans start thinking, "Oh my God, we're gonna get Roman. Oh, we're gonna get The Rock. They said they're gonna have surprises showing up, and we're gonna get all these big moments." Well, you got Stephanie being inducted in the Hall of Fame. You had The Undertaker show up. You had Pat McAfee show up. You had things. You had what they said was going to happen. The problem is when you tell fans, us fanatical fans here, that they're going to be surprises, it automatically jumps to, oh my God, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso's on the card. That means Roman's going to be there. If Roman would The Rock show up? And then you got these crazy ideas, and then no matter what you do, you're going to fail because you're not going to get the moments that the fans expect.
All right. Before you continue.
That's the thing. It's expectation versus reality. That's the problem.
Let me ask you something, because I'm trying to rewind. I'm trying to remember. My memory sucks. I'm really bad at this. Yeah. Let's go back to the first episode on Netflix. I believe that was Roman Reigns versus Solo for the Ulafalo thing. Did anybody came out? Did The Rock come out on that show? Do you remember The Rock coming out on that show? Did he?
The Rock opened the show, and he came out and he talked about Cody because he was not he wasn't at that time. He wasn't the final boss. He was board director Rock or whatever the hell it was, and he talked good about Cody and everything else, and then he left, and that was it. That was it.
So you had that. You had the main event, right? I didn't CM Punk and Seth fight that night too.
CM Punk and Seth in the cage, I believe.
Did they fight?
No. That was a different night.
No.
Because Roman came back. That was when Roman came back.
Yeah.
That was when Roman came back. I believe it was just a regular match that time, maybe.
They had was that the first time they were kind of showing us the drone flying all around and
With
all
the
stuff.
Jey Uso intro.
Yeah, that was kind of cool that they had that. They introduced that to us. I think also it was at that arena, which it has like that new Clippers arena where it has like good visuals and all that stuff. They had crazy ass mad fireworks and all that stuff. So for the entrance and all that stuff. So if we look back at what they did for Netflix and we look back at what they did for
WWE, so here were your special appearances. You had The Rock, The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, which was the start of the Cena Farewell Tour, and Travis Scott.
Damn, they all came out on Netflix.
Yeah, because that was a time when Travis Scott was still in, which all that whole storyline changed.
That WrestlePalooza was a snooze fest, sir. You compare Netflix to that WrestlePalooza and ESPN, and they freaking screwed over the fans, bro. They gave us
they didn't screw over the fans. They're in a totally different position now.
No, because you could still do extra stuff that you could have done. Like,
they added this 6 weeks ago. ESPN said all of a sudden, like, hey, we want to show the first night, the day we take over is September 20th. We want to have a show that night. You're in the middle of getting ready for freaking Crown Jewel. You only have two episodes to get ready for Crown Jewel. They're trying to cram all that in. Originally, this was supposed to be the build-up for Crown Jewel. You're supposed to have 6 weeks of build-up. Instead, they said, no, we want to have a PLE. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. And that's what you got. You got a thrown-together thing to where maybe it kept some of the storylines going, but you weren't going to get a lot of anything else. You're not going to have Cody ain't going to wrestle there and then 2 weeks later fight. He's going to have to fight Seth. Him and Seth now are your main event at Crown Jewel.
Correct.
Like,
they could have.
And the women's side isn't even figured out yet.
They could have done something more for that wow moment, and that's where we go back to this.
But then here's the problem. Here's the problem I have for you, Frankie. Everything they did on that first Netflix on Raw. Uh-huh. The second Netflix on Raw happened. What'd we say? Oh, WWE screwed us. It was nothing like that first one.
No.
It was nothing like that first one.
No. Because we already had the impression that this was gonna eventually be the big enchilada for the first episode, and then after that, we knew it was gonna go down. Kind of like ESPN. We knew that the first event was probably gonna be high end, amazing, and all that stuff, and then the other ones probably weren't gonna live to the same expectation. That's what I kind of
again. It's expectation versus reality on what you can't. You have Crown Jewel coming up. Like Saudi, the Australia paid $35 million or something for this pay-per-view. You're gonna do all your storylines on the ESPN one that you just made up and threw in Indianapolis.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing where you say you have to sprinkle a little bit of.
But let me tell you this. There's been a report that Cody wanted to drop the title to Drew.
There is that report, correct?
Yes. You know why they didn't do that?
Because they probably want to make Cody the face of WWE and ESPN.
No. Do you want Drew against Seth at Crown Jewel?
I would. I think that would be a great matchup.
Okay.
You don't like it?
No, I don't. I don't like the two heels going against each other at Crown Jewel. No.
Doesn't matter. I let the fans pick.
But what's the story?
Let the fans
you have
pick
Cody trying to become the second. There's no story to Drew and Seth. There's no story there.
I understand that. But there's no.
I would have loved it if Crown Jewel wasn't great. If Crown Jewel.
There wasn't no story with Cody.
What do you mean? No story with Cody? For what?
There's no story. There's the only backdrop between Seth and Cody was, hey, they met each other at WrestleMania. Congratulations. And they met each other when he tore his pec or whatnot. And that's it.
Did you watch Raw?
Yes.
Did you watch Raw?
Yes. That's what they brought up. That's what they brought up.
You saw the promo, though. You saw the promo.
The promo of what? Of them on right after WrestlePalooza was over?
Yeah, when Seth says, "I'm the alpha," and Cody looks at straight in the face, he says, "I got 2 questions for you. We've had 3 matches one-on-one. Will that happen this time? All of them have been one-on-one. Will that happen this time?" And then he said, "Then in the 3 matches, how many have you won, Seth?"
Yeah, and Seth said none.
And he left.
Yeah,
And he left. Yeah. And you saw the Rolex, right?
Yeah.
On the podcast, he had Becky Lynch on the podcast. Becky said he's never worn that Rolex one time. Never worn it since Cody gave it to him at WrestleMania 41. He comes out with it on, and then in the dressing room, Becky's talking. He's just staring at the watch.
He is.
I mean, if I was Cody, I would have dug even deeper. I would have been like, I kicked you with one arm. I kicked your ass with one arm. He blew out his back and still beat Seth in Hell in a Cell.
He did. But you're not telling me that there's no history between Drew and Seth from way back as well. It's wrestling.
No, there might be, but at the same time, it's also when these people, just like Saudi Arabia, they don't technically have input into the matches, but they have input in who they want to have, main eventing their show probably.
Just because Cody is not main eventing their show, I don't think they're gonna throw a fit. At the end of the day, they could still include in another fight in there. Like, here's what I thought. Here's
you think this shit's like chocolate candy. Like you can get, I'll take that one with the caramel. Oh, give me that one with the wafer. Oh, give me that one. No, man. You can't just plug and play guys like that, bro.
Sean, that's what Sean, that's what they've done all the time. They've gone ahead and changed stories from one to the opposite. Like, what are you talking about?
Not with what you've done with Cody. With what you've done with Cody, as you said it there a minute ago. They want to make him the face of everything.
Oh, I agree. So that's why I don't feel like they're going to make him lose. But look at him. He actually, think about it, Sean. He himself wanted to lose and give Drew McIntyre that win.
Yes.
And so think about
because
it.
Because Drew deserved the win. The win. The problem was the timing. If ESPN would have waited till 2 weeks after Crown Jewel, I guarantee you they probably would have got the oh shit moment and Cody would have dropped the belt.
I don't even think they would do that. I don't think they would even do that, man. To be real honest with you. I think they're going to ride with Cody all the way on this one. And that's what disappoints me when it comes to this whole storytelling on some of this stuff. Like, okay, if you want big moments, what big moment is it? What big moment did you get out of WrestlePalooza? Paul Heyman introducing Brock? Congratulations. That's awesome. That Brock whooping the crap out of John Cena? No, again, you're selling us as the WWE fans. You want us to be invested. You guys, maybe it wasn't you weren't as disappointed, but from the conversation in the stream that I saw, you guys were all like, yeah, it was okay. It was like a souped up. It was
okay. I mean, I expected that. I didn't expect anything crazy. I mean, I picked Lesnar to beat Cena in my picks. Like, I knew that was going to happen. But as watching the everything leading up to it said nothing that Cena is beating. When somebody was like, "Oh, how's it gonna go against John Cena?" I'm gonna try. What?
Yeah, when he said that, yeah.
That's what Cena said. I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Let me send in my vote. Lesnar winning this one."
I mean, the reason I say that you could have a oh shit moment is because there's so much more storytelling that you could come out, especially if you're like you just said a couple minutes ago that Triple H was selling it, saying, "Hey, there was big things going on." What is it that maybe perhaps we could have had Randy come out there and done an RKO on Cody, even though Cody has won? He still does an RKO. He finally betrays Cody Rhodes. You could have done a shit moment like that. Or he could have gone ahead and done an RKO on John Cena after thinking that he was going to help him because of the long history that they have together, which kind of will lean on to our next topic. But you could have done so many things. Like there's so many things. Rhea Ripley, where was she? Why couldn't she just come out and probably hit the crap out of Stephanie Valkyrie? You don't need a big like crazy thing to make an oh shit moment. You don't. All you have to do, like you would have been able to go ahead and have, I don't know, Asuka attack Stephanie from behind, and then all of a sudden you have Rhea Ripley come out and accidentally hit Stephanie Valkyrie, and now you're bringing some heat in there, and then you could kind of fix it on Monday, and you don't have to turn away and change the belt on her or anything like that. You could still preach and give her all the kudos that she definitely deserved. I think they went a little bit too overboard on yesterday for her, but still, those little oh wow moments could have happened, man. Even if you would have had maybe like even R-Truth, you could have had R-Truth come out there with a Grande Americano hat, Grande Americano mask, and act like he's another part of the Grande Americanos. Instead of just three of them, now you see four of them. Little moments like that that just make the show better, and it just feels like it was lackluster, and it feels it was stale. And I understand why you guys are saying, "Hey, it wasn't the greatest show. It was just a very souped up Monday Night Raw." And the problem is, do we want big moments or do we just want storytelling? Because if we just want storytelling, you know what?
Also,
Don't criticize what
Steven,
happened at WrestleMania.
This is where what's funny to me is we sit here and we say we want big moments. We want big moments, right? But I can tell you right now, there was no big moments on the other side either. But it was a good show. It was a great show with AEW. But there's no big oh shit moment. I mean, Beth Phoenix coming out, or I'm sorry, Beth Copeland. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Jungle Boy. I'm sorry, Jungle Boy's back. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Close your ears. Spoiler. It might happen tonight. We might get Luchasaurus. The Jurassic Express is back. You know what I mean? But like, again, those were good moments, but there's no, like, what are you going to do and why are you going to do it? To me, it was not a great PLE, and there wasn't a super PLE, but it got the job done for what they needed to do. Now build up from there.
I don't know, man. It's a PLE. Maybe if it was a regular Monday Night Raw, then I could understand, but it's a PLE. Yeah. They sold it as a PLE.
Saturday Night Main Event is technically a PLE, but you don't get shit on that either. I mean,
no. Saturday Night Main Event, they haven't been selling us like it's a PLE. They've been selling it more like, hey, it's like a souped up Monday Night Raw or a souped up SmackDown. That's what they kind of sell it. They've never gone ahead and be like, maybe just maybe first one.
What did they sell on this one? Let me ask you something. They said it's our first ever episode on PLE on ESPN. There's going to be big moments. There's going to be surprises. They didn't say they're going to be, oh my God, we're bringing in The Rock is coming back.
We don't need The Rock.
What? Travis Scott is going to be with them.
We don't need Travis Scott.
Oh my goodness, we're going to get all this. I'm not saying that, but what else would there have been?
I gave you different scenarios.
But here's the one thing that I'm getting tired of in WWE too, and it's come out on a couple of different things. Like, every show doesn't have to end with an attack.
Okay.
Or a surprise. Or like because then now, guess what? That's become the expectation, not reality.
Correct.
Right?
That's what they've been doing. So they've been telling us
again. But now they start settling it down, and now it's like, oh my goodness, it's not good enough. It was a good show. It wasn't a great show, but it was a good show. It was what it was for. Again, they want to say that what they said was, and this is why I think this WrestlePalooza was not that good. Because they said once the WrestleMania start going overseas, they want WrestlePalooza to end up being the WrestleMania back in the States.
Okay. So are you insinuating that they want to move WrestleMania outside of the States forever?
I'm not going to say forever, but I guarantee you're going to get more money for it from there. And knowing TKO, they're going to go with the money. They're not going to be... Think about it. They're going to Vegas. Why? Because they don't have to spend money because most of the shit is there. TKO is in Vegas. They have arrangements set up throughout Vegas because of the UFC and everything else that they don't have to do a whole lot there. Now you're going to get what is it, $250 million for a WrestleMania? You do understand that's more than I think they've made on every WrestleMania up to this date.
Correct. Now the question is, how long are they going to keep this up for? How long are they going to have the
I
people
don't
be
think they're
able
going
to
to get
go?
the $250 million, but I think you might get Australia get one if the Perth thing goes for maybe $75 million. They'll get 2 shows. I don't know what you're ever going to get. The only time you're going to get the money that they have that they're getting now is through Saudi. Now, if Saudi keeps paying up, could that become a thing? Then that's where WrestlePalooza will turn into the States, and that's where you'll get the cons and all that stuff going on during WrestlePalooza.
Well, if that was their plan, wouldn't it have made more sense to make that WrestlePalooza a lot better?
No, because it'll be like the first Raw on Netflix. No Raw is gonna beat that Raw ever.
No, but you
brought guys from SmackDown over. You brought guys from SmackDown over to that show. Remember, Roman and Solo were SmackDown guys.
Yes.
They brought them over to make that Raw what it was. At the time, I think CM Punk was still SmackDown, and then he came over to Raw.
No, I think
so
Raw. Yeah, I don't think.
But you're still moving guys over and guys and gals over to make that work. You're not going to be able to make a. All right, so you had Roman and Solo in tribal combat for the Ula Fala. You had Jey Uso beat Drew McIntyre. Rhea Ripley beat Liv Morgan to win the women's championship for the second time.
Okay.
And then CM Punk beat Seth Rollins. That's it. It was 4 matches. That's all that show was. 4 matches.
And it was better than WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, because again,
and it wasn't a PLE. It was a Monday Night Raw.
Yes, but it doesn't matter when you bring in Roman, The Rock. I mean, at the time, Hulk Hogan, R.I.P., Travis Scott. Like, you had all the mainstream people. The Undertaker came out. You know, like, when you have those mainstream people, you're going to get that pop for the mainstream. That's what you're going to get.
Well, so, okay, but you're making it seem like you always need to bring The Rock. You always need to bring Travis Scott. You always need to bring whoever it is in order for it to get a pop. You could use your own wrestlers to make a pop.
The only one that gets that pop right now is Cody and Seth and CM Punk. Like, that's it. Man. Who else you gonna do?
You could have brought in Randy Orton. You could have gone ahead and brought in Joe Hendry.
But they haven't built it. They let him go for a while, and then they bring him back. He'll pop up, and then it'll go crazy again. But okay, so even Randy Orton. Give me a young guy right now. And this goes to where I talk about AEW and everything else too. Who are you invested as a young guy?
In WWE?
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio.
I already know what you're going to say, but yeah, that's what I know you're saying, Dom. Yeah. After that, who do you got?
I could go ahead and say El Gran Americano. Luther Kaiser is young. He's not old, is he?
30s. 30-ish.
Braun Breaker, thank you, no doubt. Braun Breaker is a young cat. He's out there.
And what? They're trying to establish them now, right? They hadn't had them established. Not to where they could get that pop that they get there. The Brauns were not, like, Braun Breaker was great to have on a PLE. Bronson Reed, did you care about up until he joined the Vision? Honestly, if it was Bronson Reed on a pay-per-view, I love Bronson Reed, but he's not turning heads for me.
They've been trying to sell him. Well, look at Jey Uso. That's another one that they've been trying to sell to us.
I think there's more. I think there's more going to be going to that. I love the interaction between him and Cody on Raw, with him staring at the belt the whole time Cody's talking to him, and he's just.
See those little nuggets like that. You could use that for. You could have used that for WrestlePalooza. You could have done stuff like that. You could have. It just. Again, they have so much creativeness. They know how to bring creativeness. You're telling me for one show that Triple H blew up, you can't come out with something creative? And outside of bringing Travis Scott, The Rock, Stone Cold, any of those guys, use your guys. You couldn't even, like I told you, you could have brought in Joe Henry. Joe Henry is a good one to bring because he gets a pop no
Dude,
matter
but
what.
you do. It's funny because I got that. That goes to our next topic, but Joe Hendry is still technically a TNA guy. Like he hasn't been. He's
They had
been
him at WrestleMania.
shadowed off a little bit, but well, no, yeah, because they had to get somebody in to take on Orton. I mean,
He's been featured every. I mean, anytime you mention his name,
no, he is.
he's always there.
Think about this. Last night, TNA attacked NXT. No Joe Hendry on either side.
Maybe something must have happened to him. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't there for a reason.
No, he's not. He's there. He's there because he did a 6-man tag, but he was not involved in any of the any of the stuff there. Like there's guys there that they can push.
Well, they could have brought in out Trick Williams. They could have brought in Obafemi. Show those guys. Those guys are in NXT. You bring those guys, dude. I'll never forget. And remember, this was just SmackDown that I went to here in South Florida when they were at the Kaseya Center. They brought Trick Williams, and the crowd went wild, and they only brought him for that night. That's it. So imagine, why can't you do that stuff for again? You're WWE. You're the most creative mother skunks out there, right? You have the money, you have the visuals, come on, man. Like, put some effort into this. It looks like you want to get your money's worth, right? You're charging a shitload of money to all these fans to go look at this. You're charging a shitload of money for people to keep getting platforms and all that stuff. You gotta have Peacock, you gotta have Netflix, you gotta have the cable for USA, you gotta have everything. If not, you're missing out on you're missing one show, and missing out on one show might make a difference of what is going on the story. So it's like, dude, if you're gonna sell us something, sell it to us correctly. Sell it to us like we deserve it, because we do.
But
we're paying an arm and a leg.
What is sell it to you right? What is, like, we might not have liked the show. I guarantee you're going to find people that like the show.
You saw that in social media. A lot of people were upset with that show.
Oh, yeah, no. Even ESPN gave it a C. ESPN, when they analyzed it, they gave it a C.
So that goes to show you that it was a mediocre PLE show. Like, they should have done more. Let's keep it real.
But again, like, you act like they can just be like, all right, screw everything that we're doing right now. We have an ESPN PLE. That's all we're going to worry about. Doesn't work that way, bro.
No, but but here's the thing. I'm not saying to screw everything just because you have the PLE, but you can start bringing oh shit moments, oh wow moments, and you don't have to screw the storytelling that is going on out there. We
bring Obafemi in. What?
Yeah. And he walks in, and then all of a sudden, Brock Lesnar's walking out.
Okay, and then what?
You tease that to the fans, and all of a sudden, the fans are going to be like, what the hell? And then
what is Obafemi going to go? Obafemi's going to do his little walk to the ring so he can carry John Cena back like a baby?
We don't know.
Like, it makes no sense for Obafemi to be there.
We don't know. That's a nugget.
What's he going to do? Go get popcorn? He's going to go join the...
Maybe it doesn't lead up to anything. But again, it's just little simple things that could go ahead and create. You'll be like, damn.
All right, Mr. AEW.
I'm telling you.
Mr. AEW, there he is.
And I'm not saying
there's the AEW.
No, because you want to know
just
something.
Just throw Obafemi out there. Have Trick Williams go out there. Anybody they clap for, send them. Go.
I'm not saying.
Look at all these old shit moments.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying to do the old shit moments on a Monday night or on a SmackDown. But if it's a PLE, why not? Right? I mean, it's a PLE. It stands out.
Because you still have to make sense, and you still have a show Monday.
Come on. Come on. You're making it seem like you're making it seem because if Obafemi makes a guest appearance to freaking on a PLE, that the whole show, the whole stories are fucked up. They're done. Damn it. I didn't want to curse. They're screwed. I just gave you an example of when Trick Williams was at SmackDown for that one night, and then we haven't seen them ever since again in SmackDown or any of that stuff. That goes to show you that they could do it. Did it hurt that SmackDown show? No, it didn't. Did it hurt any of the other wrestlers? No, it didn't. Did it hurt Trick Williams? No, it actually gained more popularity. Some people, I'm pretty sure.
Did they do that on a PLE? Did they do that on a PLE?
It should, is what I'm trying to tell you.
I rest my case. Did they do it on a PLE? Did it happen on a PLE? Did Trick Williams show up on the PLE?
It should. They should.
Did they? Yes or no? Was it on a
They
PLE?
should. They should.
You just told me it was SmackDown. Was it SmackDown or was it PLE?
It was a SmackDown leading up to the
Okay, then.
PLE
Thank you.
that was happening Saturday, the very next that weekend.
And did Trick whoop that ass on the PLE?
No, he whooped that ass on the SmackDown.
No. Thank you. Okay.
God. All right, we're just not gonna.
If this was a Raw leading into the ESPN, it would have been okay. All right. What's the next topic?
All right, this is a good one. We got John Cena, and we're gonna go ahead and try to predict who his future matches should be next. Now, let me confirm with you because I wasn't sure. Does he have 4 more appearances or 5? I wasn't too sure about that.
Well, AJ Styles is taking him on in Crown Jewel. So if that's 1, then he's got 4 more, I believe, is how it works.
That's already confirmed, 100% that they're gonna go with.
I saw a poster, unless somebody did some great.
Because he didn't do it. He didn't say anything yet on Monday Night Raw. He was actually upset at the Americana.
It was set today.
Damn, that's so random.
Today, I believe, on X. Hold on.
That was so random to just put them together.
Yeah, because everybody was like, "What the hell is this?" And so, hold on a minute. Let me make sure I didn't get had by a.
Just got upset. Heated me up, Sean. God damn it! I wasn't trying to curse out here. God damn it.
Well, damn it, curse a little bit, man. It says Triple H has officially announced John Cena versus AJ Styles Crown Jewel 2025.
That makes no sense. Like, I know they have history, but out of the blue, so Cena's just gonna pick and choose who he wants now.
ESPN's TikTok already put out the edit for John Cena, AJ Styles at WWE Crown Jewel.
Wow. It says Sean got had by a teenager with Canva. What is that? Got hacked.
Is that what I did?
Sean got hacked by a teenager with Canva.
Is that what I did? Did I get had by a teenager Canva? Maybe I did.
Good one, no doubt. Good one. I like it.
You know what? Screw you, no doubt.
All right, so let's confirm this. How many more fights does he have left? I wasn't sure if it's 4 or 5. Is the AJ Styles confirmed? 100%?
There is 5. Somebody has got 5. Crown Jewel Perth is AJ Styles, so there's 4 more after.
Okay, so let's just assume we'll let the hacker have his fun. AJ versus Cena. So that leaves us with 4 more left. So
yes,
let's go ahead and I want to ask you, and we could go back and forth. We could each pick one, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be. But let's go ahead and who you feel should be one of those 4 opponents for him before he actually calls it quits. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I guarantee you our first one's probably the same person. But
no,
go
no,
ahead.
No particular. It doesn't have to be a particular order. Like there's no particular.
Well, I got it in order because I think it's got us set up for stuff. But
I didn't have it in any particular order. So my first one, and I'm just throwing it out there, it's somebody I already name dropped, and that is Randy Orton. Randy Orton should be the guy that should go up against John Cena. There's history between those.
We saw that already.
Doesn't, but we saw Brock Lesnar and John Cena before.
No, but
that is one of the opponents, in my opinion, that we should see, especially since Randy Orton and John Cena, we haven't terrible. No, we haven't seen that in a while. Same thing, we didn't see Brock Lesnar with John Cena. Bring them back. These guys have history. Make it happen. Randy Orton versus John Cena should be one of the matches. And I'm not choosing by any particular order. I say Randy Orton is one of them. What about you?
Dominic Mysterio. Time to give the young guys the rub. I think it'll be a good little Saturday night main event match.
What are the four places that he has left? Because I know he Saturday main
Boston.
Event.
Monday Night Raw in Boston, Monday Night Raw in New York, Survivor Series,
Raw,
and Sunday night main event is his final match.
Hold on. So Raw, Survivor Series.
2 Raws. Yeah. Actually, that is a Monday Night Raw match against Dominic. I'm sorry. I spoke wrong. I thought the Boston was Saturday night main event.
Okay, so you got 2 Raws, a Survivor Series, and a Saturday night main event.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, so now that you mentioned that, because I didn't take that into consideration, they're not going to put like a high-end guy on a Raw to go against John Cena.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. So In my opinion, you want to know something? I think right now Dominic Mysterio is too tied up with the whole Rusev and all those things. I think the guy you need to go out there and put over to help is none other than El Grande Americano, especially since you're trying to sell the Americanos to the public and he's big in Mexico. El Grande Americano would be a perfect opponent on a Monday Night Raw. On a Monday Night Raw, El Grande Americano versus John Cena. I like it.
Fuck it, send it in.
El Grande Americano, bro.
My second Raw opponent.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting you off. You mentioned that the first one was Dominic, and you wanted him on a Monday night.
No. Yeah, Monday Night Raw. Yeah. It'll get smodged.
Okay.
Somebody will come out and attack Cena or whatever. I mean, it's not like they're gonna,
Okay.
however it goes. The second one, like I was thinking, and Adrian's got a good point here. You could do LA Knight, but I was hoping it would be Penta. I wanted to put over young guys, man, or new guys that are new to WWE on Raws. Again, this is another match. You could have fun, do whatever. Cena could go to hit the AA. You send somebody out or whatever to make the match for Survivor Series. Like, it doesn't have to be Cena pinning Penta. It doesn't have to be Cena pinning Dom. It doesn't have to be Dom pinning Cena. It doesn't have to be Penta pinning Cena. I think those two matches could have a hell of a match and then throw some schmoz in it or something at the end to keep the other angles going on Raw.
And you're saying this is
And that's
for
not
Raw.
bad too, no doubt. El Grande Americano versus Juan Cena. We could get Juan Cena one time, I guess. That's actually not too terrible. But yeah, I think that Penta and Dom would be his two Raw matches. I would like to see. Probably not going to happen, but
All right, so I got the Randy Orton would not be on the Raw. I would say that would be on the Saturday night main event. So I would put that on the Saturday night main event. Randy Orton, as his last match. And El Gran Americano would be on Raw. All right, so I'm thinking outside the box. Again, I don't have a list in particular. I was just throwing it out there because I want to know. And I mentioned his name as well. You might have mentioned him as well. But I think on a Monday Night Raw, you got to go ahead and bring in Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry versus John Cena at a Monday Night Raw would just make logical sense. These guys, you want to get Joe Hendry in there. People like to see Joe Hendry. They at one point in time they were talking that they wanted to face each other. I wouldn't even be surprised Joe Hendry can actually go to TNA and actually promote John Cena, call him out in TNA, call him out in NXT, and then John Cena finally responds and mentions him on Raw, and you get Joe Hendry versus John Cena on Monday Night Raw.
it's not bad. I had Hendry on my list, but I didn't realize that it was for the Survivor Series match, so I know that's not going to happen. I had him as number 3. I would like to see him, again, maybe they do a triple threat or something. I don't know. Throw it in there. Again, the Raw matches don't have to mean anything.
Yeah.
They could just be something to set up. You could throw a triple threat, Cena, Penta, and Hendry against each other just for the hell of it on those matches, just to have that one go of it.
Wait, hold on. Adrian says they already fought, Frankie. Who already fought? Joe Hendry and John Cena? They did? Call me out. I don't know. I don't think they've ever fought. I know they were calling it.
Orton and Hendry did. I know they wanted Hendry said his dream opponent would be Cena. That would make
correct.
Again, that's one of those things to where I think you might get that at that point.
I mean, when it comes to Randy Orton, yeah, I know Randy Orton and John Cena have fought.
Yeah, they did the Backlash.
But there's a history there. That's why I would bring it back.
Oh yeah, the history. Yeah, now we're talking history.
All right.
The Survivor Series. I saw this online, and I think this would be a good way to kind of get. They had like this team of Cena, Roman, the Usos, and somebody. I want to say Cody, or something like that as one team, and then you had like the Vision, Drew McIntyre on the other side, like a traditional Survivor Series match, or even War Games. However you want to do it. I don't know if you want to throw Cena in War Games, but that would be fun to where then you have him with all that mix in the Survivor Series. I would like to see that. Like an all. Oh, you know what? I'll put it in your terms. An 8-man All-Star match.
AEW style. I never forget what AEW had. Like what they had. They had like 12 guys. No, it was on
10 men.
it was on that Mexican on AAA that they had like a whole bunch of guys. Was it AAA? No, it was AEW. It was AEW. It was the
AEW does the 8-man tag team match, the 10-man tag. Hell,
No,
they did one. They had a tag team tournament, 4 teams for $500,000. The Young Bucks won.
No,
to
but
get back in, they got all the pyro and stuff again.
They had the one with I think it was that CMLL when they wrestled Dynamite over there, and they had like I think they had like 12 guys wrestle. Like they didn't have enough room for the wrestlers, so they were standing outside the ring, and then they would just roll in. That's how crazy that match was. I remember I was like, man, there's too many guys in one ring. All right, for me for Survivor Series, I'm sorry guys, but there's only one person. And it's not Brock Lesnar. It's the Tribal Chief. The Tribal Chief versus John Cena. It just makes perfect sense to have those two go at it. Because the Tribal Chief is the Tribal Chief. He's number one, bro. Here, we had this huge pop, John Cena versus Cody and all that stuff. We saw it again twice. But now you got the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. He's known as the best right now. Why not go up against John Cena? John Cena is calling himself the greatest of all time. Roman Reigns has been the longest lasting WWE heavyweight champion of all time. So why not sell it to us like that? Sell it to us. John Cena versus the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns.
It's going to be hard to make that work with nobody on TV.
Make
You
it
can't
work.
see me. I can't see you either.
Make it work, WWE. Make it happen.
Here's the promo, ladies and gentlemen. Roman Reigns. What do you think about John Cena? John Cena. What do you think about Roman Reigns?
Are you saying that because
Back to you, Michael Cole.
Oh Lord. No, come on, man. You know that. You know that fight would.
No, it'd be a cool match, but I don't see that. I think that those 3 matches are going to be more entertaining style matches rather than Cena fighting that way, because I think his final match, which is scheduled for the Saturday night main event, which apparently they outbid the Boston, which was his hometown. They didn't want to go there because they didn't pay enough money for his final match. Wow. They got outbid.
That's ridiculous. That's so sad.
Which to me says that you're going to get the Saturday night main event, which, by the way, exclusively now on Peacock only. Yeah. It's not on NBC anymore.
You got to have Peacock
exclusively on Peacock. I think you get John Cena, which is why he lost this match in convincing style to Brock Lesnar. I think his final match will be against Brock Lesnar. He gets the win. He rides out into the sunset as the greatest of all time, having beaten and conquered the Beast, Brock Lesnar, in his final match.
You want to torture the wrestling fans having to watch us see that match again, and at the same time see Brock Lesnar last like 5 seconds and then walk out? It's going to be like Goldberg all over again.
I'm just saying. That's what I would like to see.
Wow, sir. Wow.
Because then that would be 2 of Brock Lesnar's 3 appearances for the year too. So he's only got 1 more left. I don't have to see him for a while.
For me, man, I don't want a fight that's gonna last 5 minutes. I want a match that we're actually gonna enjoy and last. That's why I got Randy Orton for that Saturday night main event.
Oh, good God! You got him wrestling Randy Orton 3 times in his final 4 matches.
No, I have him wrestling at Survivor.
You said the first one was Saturday Randy Orton, then you went.
No, because I wasn't. No, at Raw is gonna be. I said El Grande Americano and Joe Henry Survivor Series,
Okay.
Roman Reigns and Randy Orton on Saturday. It said Randy
Oh,
Orton was
okay,
set
okay,
off.
okay, 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 okay. Now you put it in order. Okay. Before you were just saying who you want. Okay. All right. Never
Yeah,
mind.
because
Sorry.
I remember
Misunderstood.
you know, the
I was
reason
like, good God, you got to wrestle 2 times in a month.
no, the reason I specify you because you threw me the Raws and Survivor Series, so that
Yeah.
like you know
Mhm.
how we had to change it up because you were like, oh damn,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
fighting.
No, that's the whole
That
thing.
makes
I had him taking on Joe Hendry at Survivor Series. That's never going to happen. Good
Yeah,
God, I hope that doesn't. It'll be like Randy Orton against him at WrestleMania. Joe Hendry gets the big PLEs against the big stars.
Imagine Joe Henry gives a fight to John Cena, and Randy Orton just RKO'd him like in 2 seconds to beat his ass. So that would make no sense whatsoever. It would be terrible for John Cena, bro. Terrible, terrible. But yeah, that's
Terrible, terrible.
if you guys have your list of at least the last 4 opponents you would like to see John Cena
Yeah, throw them in
wrestle,
there. Throw them in
throw
on
them in
the
the
chat
chat.
on X. If you got them in there, throw them on the X as well. We appreciate everybody that's joined us and watching the show with us here on the Stanley Media House Network YouTube channel, as well as the Frankie Fresk YouTube channel and Stanley Media House on X, Twitch, and the Facebook page, Stanley Media House Network. So thank you guys.
So
Which I think is-
while the chat is still while they're
Yes.
typing their opponents, let's go to our last topic, and we'll jump back to the future matches for John
Yeah,
Cena.
well,
And it kind of correlates with this one too. So of course, Adrian.
apparently Adrian's got him taking on LA Knight twice. Yes, both Raws. Both Raws are run it back one after the other. Oh, LA Knight in Survivor Series. Oh, here we go. Let me guess what the final match is. Yeah.
That'll be pretty bad if it's.
Oh, there it is. LA Knight. 4 LA Knights. There's my list. All right. Yeah.
That's terrible, sir. 4 LA Knights. That's terrible.
Even Frankie said that's terrible. Damn.
That's terrible. That's that's even worse than Stephen A's list of wrestling.
Which one's worse, that one or Stephen A?
No. This one is way worse. This is way worse. Oh, I telepathic.
Oh, there we go. I like it.
Randy. Oh, another one. What's up with you guys only picking one guy for all 4 events? I like that you picked Randy Orton, Karun. I'm not gonna lie, but we do need to mix it up a little bit and make it entertaining. But with that being said, also, guys, I had gone ahead and put the last topic, and it was our top 5 matches up to this point this year, 2025.
Mhm.
It could be either WWE or AEW, or if there's anything else you guys have seen out there.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. Most of mine is WWE, AEW related because I haven't really paid a lot. I do have an honorable mention outside because I did watch it and I thought it was one of the greatest, most entertaining matches I've seen this year. But that's an honorable mention, not in my top 5. I have 2 honorable mentions, Frankie.
Okay, go for it. I don't have any honorable mentions.
Actually, 3. I got 3 honorable mentions.
Just do another top 5 honorable mentions. How about that?
Honorable mentions, okay, no problem. The NXT match, tag team match, Io Sky and Jordan Grace against Julia and Roxanne. That's an honorable mention.
Not bad.
The triple threat match at Stand and Deliver between Obafemi, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams. Thought that was a fantastic match. And the one that I was talking about, the AAA Battle Royal with Omos and Micro Man. And you also had Otis and I don't know who the other one was, but just the entertainment of that match made it one of my favorites of all time.
One of them on my list, the reason for it was kind of the entertainment as well. It was entertainment too. So I took that into effect. So I don't have it in any particular order, but I'll
I kind of just I put 1 through 5, but they're not in order. They're just I made sure I had 5 matches is what I kind of did.
I kind of want to give some props to the ladies, so I do have a couple matches here for the ladies. All right, so for me, and looking at my list, I'm gonna go ahead and give them, I guess, number 5. I'll line them up that way. It lines up to what was the best match, because at the end of the day, there is one match that will always live to expectation, and I love it. My number 5, I'm gonna give it to what we just saw, and maybe you guys will disagree with me, but I thought it was very good. Io Sky versus Stephanie Valkyrie. I thought that was a really, really great match for 2025. Those ladies gave it all. And it was the most entertaining fight in WrestlePalooza, to be honest with you. And I love the fact that they got it right. They gave the championship belt to Stephanie Valkyrie. And if you ask me, Frankie, are you a little bit biased because Stephanie Valkyrie is Hispanic? You damn right I am. So that's why I picked Stephanie Valkyrie against.
And her dad was there.
And her father was there. Her dad was there on Monday too. So Stephanie
Yeah,
Valkyrie
yeah.
versus Io on WrestlePalooza was my number 5.
All right. Well, real quick, No Doubt had Roman, Braun Breaker, Dom, and then Conquer the Beast to end the career. Adrian came in back instead of just LA Knights. He's now taking on Roman. So everybody's kind of on board with you there. LA Knight, Seth Rollins, Javon Evans. That's an interesting one.
That is a good one. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. That'd be
Just
very interesting.
he can't mess it up like he messed up with Randy Orton. Okay, and just letting you know, Javon Evans, you can't mess it up. You know, you gotta hit that over the top turnbuckle RKO if you're gonna do it right. I'm just saying.
Do it right, buddy. My number 5 match is actually the one I picked out was Swerve against Ospreay from Dynamite, the summer breakout match. I thought that was just fantastic, and actually all their matches. You're going to see a pattern here with some of this, but Ospreay to me in the ring, inside the ropes, I don't think he can have a bad match. Swerve same way. I mean, it's just they're just two professionals that really put their bodies on the line to make sure everybody gets what they need to get out of the story. So for me, that was my number 5.
Okay. My number 4 is Kenny Omega versus Okada. I thought Kenny Omega versus Okada was an amazing match. Okada ended up being victorious, but it was you could never go wrong with those two guys. And at the end of the day, it was I forgot where it was. I know it was on a pay-per-view. And it was for the when they for the international belt. I think it was the international belt that they were going for. Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were like kind of like because
That
Kenny
wasn't
had,
that the one where they combined the
yes,
titles, the
correct. That's the one. That's the
international
one.
and
Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, it was that match in particular where the one where they combined both titles, and Kenny Omega ended up losing that one, if I'm not mistaken, to Okada, and Okada won it.
I
So
don't think he's beat Okada in AEW yet, honestly.
I don't know
I
about
mean, I'm
that.
sure it's probably leading, but a lot of it has to do with the injuries too. But I
Correct.
think hopefully it's leading somewhere where they get some stuff.
Okay. Oh, before you continue, I do have an honorable mention now.
Oh, now we got an honorable mention. See
I,
what happens?
I have an honorable mention.
Already deep into the conversation. Now here comes the honorable mention. Go ahead.
An honorable mention. An honorable mention. I'm gonna give it out to and the reason I give it an honorable mention because it was so good. It pretty much wiped out all those wrestlers, and they didn't have anything left for their next show, which was the women's gauntlet match, where you had all the women compete. All the women all just came, and they did such a good job. All the women that
Yes,
for the
they had
next show
no match.
they had no women left for the next show.
And
So
no.
that's my honorable mention on that one.
And poor Tony Khan had to answer that question. What happened to the women? Why didn't you have any women matches on? Well, we lost half the roster in the gauntlet match.
It was really good though. It was really good. It just
It
sucked
was.
that
It was
they-
good. It was good. My number 4, because of I love these two guys. Santana and Ali from TNA Rebellion was a false count anywhere. Good violence, made sense, told a story, and I like what Santana does, and I love Mustafa Ali outside of WWE. I wish they would have gave him the Rebellion thing and let him go with it. They didn't. Actually, not Rebellion. What was he in? Damn it! What was he when he had Michin? Was it Rebellion? Was that the name, or am I thinking of Retribution? Sorry, it's Retribution.
Correct.
Yes, if they were to let him go with that, it's very cool because what he's running now is similar to that. He's kind of running it like he's the president, and he's got this whole crew around him and things like that. So I love everything about them, and I love that match and the story they told through all the violence and everything else.
Okay, cool. My number 2 is
Number three.
I'm sorry, my apologies. Yeah, because I put 5, 4. Okay, yes, sorry. I'm like learning not how to count.
Oh, good. I understand.
My number 3 favorite. I'm giving it to these guys because I feel like these guys. It wasn't so much about the match was really good. The match was really good, but it was the oh shit moment. And that is obviously, I'm going to give credit to all 3 of them, even though it was a match and then somebody comes in. It was Gunther versus CM Punk and then Seth Rollins coming in and obviously screwing over CM Punk. That I had to give it to that because again, that was the biggest oh shit moment of this year. And nobody, they sold us, they caught us, they even caught me. I was working that day and I couldn't even, I thought CM Punk won the belt and he had the belt, and then I turned it off, and then when people start sending me messages saying, yo, Seth Rollins just cashed in and CM Punk got screwed, I was like, no way. And then I had to go back and look at it, and then boom, I found out that. So because of the entertainment side, even though CM Punk and Gunther went at it and there was a really, really good match too, I gave that one my number 3 best match.
I gave my number 3 match for the same reason, an oh shit moment. But it was the triple threat match at WrestleMania. Seth, Roman, and CM Punk. The double turn by Heyman, and then joining Seth, which is leading now to the Vision. That is my number 3 match.
All right, my number 2, and you mentioned him, and I couldn't leave him out of my list. I just decided to put him on with another great wrestler, and it was probably one of the best tag team matches this year, bro. In my eyes, I had not seen this. It was amazing. It was Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks at All In.
Yes.
That matchup was insane. Everything hit. Everything was great. They even had the cool ass entrances and all that stuff. Even though the Young Bucks took forever to get to the ring, but still, it was.
Well, they're on the boat. I mean, they had to row through the crowd. I mean, come on.
But it did take quite a few.
Founding fathers, baby. You know how long it took to get to Plymouth Rock?
Correct. But my number 2, definitely, those guys just impressed me to levels I have never seen. And Will Ospreay on the ring, inside the ring, that guy's amazing, bro. I miss that guy. I hope he comes back sooner than later. But that's my number 2.
My number 2 is probably the match that has put Ospreay out. It is the Ospreay Fletcher cage match, where they I didn't think anybody was going to be walking out of that cage. There was blood everywhere. The canvas was red. They were doing shooting stars from the top of the cage. It was just oh shit after oh shit moment of that cage match. So that is my number 2. I love me some Will Ospreay, in case you don't know.
I could tell. And my number 1 match of the year.
Oh, if we don't have the same one here, Frankie, you're done.
But I don't know. But mine is really good. I don't know about yours. And the reason I like my number 1 is because my number 1 told a story. My number 1 went all the way through. It was so good that one of the wrestlers ended up leaving that company because she did so great in that match. And I'm showing love to the ladies out here. This, for me, and not only that, but you had that moment at the very end where they're both laying down. They zoom the camera down on them, and it tells the story that we all loved and was built. And man, do I miss her in AEW. Of course, it was the championship fight between Toni Storm versus Mariah May. That is my number 1. Forget about Blake or whatever her new name is. It's all about Mariah May versus Toni Storm. Blake Monroe. So my number 1 match this year in 2025 that I enjoyed, Toni Storm versus Mariah May.
My number 1 match told a story completely. I mean, there was blood. There was tragedy. There was turning on each other. There was jealousy. There was envy. And the best part about it, it was a Hollywood ending. My number 1 match, Toni Storm and Mariah May, baby.
You can tell that we know each other. I'm telling you, man, that match lived up to expectation. Amazing.
It made everything that I love about professional wrestling. It was a story. You start out as friends. There's the betrayal. There's the jealousy, the envy. You put her sidelined for a little bit. You took what she had. And then you get the Hollywood ending. And as you said, they're laying there, and on the thing, it just the end across the screen. Like, oh my goodness, man.
So good.
That's how you let somebody leave your company. You don't beat them up with a cooler and then throw derogatory comments at them.
And it got Mariah May to go to WWE, man, and she Blake Monroe, I mean, she's good and stuff. I mean, she's so smoking hot too. But still, it told a story, man. It was amazing. I wish,
Yeah.
and it goes to show you that sometimes AEW has the potential of like really giving us something. Because look,
Here's the thing.
none of the matches we picked, we could have picked a Roman match.
It's the right chemistry though. Those two just they because here's the one thing I will say about this now. And anybody that didn't know, Chris Statlander's your new champion.
Yeah, stupid as
Tony Storm's run has not been the same since Mariah May left.
no. Well,
she's been good.
The Mercedes
She's
Moné,
been good, but there's no antagonist to now her. Like Mercedes Moné was okay, but still, it's not Mariah May and her. Like there was literally, you had the protagonist and the antagonist, and they were perfect together.
They were
perfect together. And after that went away, it just that the chemistry isn't there with anybody. They had good match chemistry with Mercedes, but those two characters just, I mean, they're like they literally were made for each other. I know how wrestling is. They were literally made for each other, and you watched it play out week after week, and just amazing stuff. That is what happens when you invest in something.
Yeah. When
you get invested in something, that's when you get, especially when you get that payoff. So many times something happens to where there's an injury, that somebody might be leaving the company or whatever, and it never gets to that point. And for the first time that I can remember, like it was an ending perfect to what was that feud.
What's funny guys, is that me and Sean, we don't talk about our matches. Like we don't talk about when we make these lists of what he likes or what I like. We just go with what, as you could tell, we had completely 5 through 2. It was or 2 to 4, 2 to 5.
I had one WWE
different.
match, by the way. One WWE match, one TNA match, 3 AEW matches.
I had one WWE match, 2 WWE matches, the Gunther CM Punk and the EO and the Stephanie Valkyrie one. But I did show a lot of love to the ladies. The ladies deserve it, man. The ladies did a great job.
And again, we missed a lot of matches. Trying to do the top 5, I was like, I'm like, I knew what my number one was the easiest.
Yeah.
I was like, I already know what that's going to be. And then it was like looking at other, like, I was like,
yeah,
that one really didn't have me invested. And again, I was invested in the Ospreay Fletcher match because I thought those two were tremendous. I get people are like, oh, Fletcher's not that, or somebody said that. I can't remember who it was, but I'm like, how can you say Kyle Fletcher's? I mean, I get he probably needs some work still, but god damn, if you can't see that kid can have something, bro. I don't know what it is, man. Like, it's one of those things. And yeah, we had no Dakota Kai matches. Sorry.
Damn.
WWE didn't like her. We can't like her.
Hopefully Dakota Kai comes to AEW, man. She did go. She came out on her podcast talking that she wanted to come back into wrestling. So, hopefully she comes back.
I hope so. Again, everybody doesn't mix, man, and that's the thing. You go to where, like with Ricochet, he went to where he needed to go, man. I thought the very telling thing last night, NXT. TNA attacked NXT last night, and TNA they go to the somebody took a still shot of like the TNA guys in the ring after they made the NXT guys powder. This wasn't on TV. That in TV they were still fighting and then it went off the air. But they show it, and it's again. I'm going to go off what their WWE names were, but it was Cedric Alexander in the corner.
Okay.
It was the Iconics.
Okay.
And Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder. Those were the 4 that were right there. Like former WWE, here they are back with TNA. but they are there. Like it was a very, very interesting picture.
I saw the images on social media. I didn't watch it. I recorded it, so I'll definitely after the show take a look at it. Matt Cardona looks so fucking like huge. That
Yeah.
guy is pause, but that guy looks so huge, bro. It's crazy the way he's freaking built. That guy is on a different level.
Always ready, baby. Always
But
ready.
if you guys have any particular list of your top 5 matches of the year and you want to drop it
Or
on the
just what
comments,
matches you like. Can't think of
or
five
maybe
right away.
you could just drop top 3 or even just your number 1. We're more than welcome to go ahead and mention them. There was a couple that could have been mentioned, right? I always I'm not gonna lie. I think the problem with the reason we don't pick so much WWE is because WWE has not been creating like these long storytelling fights. Like, they could have. I always said they could have done better with the CM Punk versus John Cena. You guys hated that promo. I loved it. I thought those guys got a special treat when CM Punk brought in Punkonomics out there and all that stuff. So, but
it was good, man. But I mean, look.
oh snap! Okay, look at you getting the Punkonomics. I have the Punkonomics shirt. I didn't wear it. I was gonna wear it, and then I was like, man, I can't find, because for the first time CM Punk won, and it was only because of AJ Lee. That's the only reason when he won.
And then I got the card of them 1-on-1.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was.
And then I got
fight.
one of the greatest referee bumps ever.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was good. That was good. Definitely good. No doubt brings one that's interesting. He put Cody Rhodes versus KO in ladder match. That was a hell of a match, man.
That was a hell of a match, very hard hitting, and the story
that's a good one.
Was really the Sammy KO, right? Because that's when it all
that's a good one,
kind of changed and all that. It was very interesting. That's a
brutal match. That was a brutal match too.
It was one of those things too, though, where they got you invested in that feud, and then you watch, like, would Cody go? How far would Cody go? And you didn't expect him to go as far as he did, and it's like, oh man! And especially when KO his head's in the ladder and his feet are behind him, and like it's like, oh man.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely one. A couple of the tag team matches as well. I read online that they were giving one. I didn't remember. I don't recall it, but it was a tables ladders match. I think it was the these people Montez Ford and Dawkins, and then it was Motor Machine Gun, and then there was somebody else. I forgot who the third team was. I think it was Gargano and Ciampa that were DIY. I think they had one on SmackDown or something like that, and they had rated that one pretty high as well. I think it was Meltzer who had.
And then they did the table ladder chair at the one PLE too. They had the whole.
That one was kind of crappy.
Well, because there's too many people involved. You can
correct
every time you see them looking around like, where's the guy at, so I can make sure I bump safe. You can only put so many people on the damn table ladder chair.
Yeah.
You got 5 tag teams trying to be in there and stuff. So, yeah. No, and again, there's a lot of stuff happening in New Japan. I'm not up to date on a lot of that. And then, they have a lot of things where guys just show up. I know Gabe Kidd has had a lot of matches good over there. He's recently showed up in AEW. Zack Sabre Jr., I know, usually has a lot of great matches over there. I just am not up to par with everything that happens there to talk about it like I can the WWE AEW stuff. That's why I stuck with that. And then also you got, the TNA stuff, which I've been watching more of because it's easy. It's on the TNA app. You can watch it, and it's like $8, $9 or whatever it is. So it's
all right. So I went online. Chat GPT, obviously. They have here Will Ospreay versus Takeshita, AEW and the Owen Hart Foundation. That's one of the top ones. They had another one for Ring of Honor, Bandito versus Takeshita. Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd is another one that you mentioned. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair in WrestleMania 41. Yeah. That was a pretty good one. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah, but I don't think those are 2025, are they?
Yeah, these are all 2025. The one, here you go. This is the one I was talking about. The Street Profits versus DIY versus Motor City Machine Gun on TLC SmackDown. It was on a regular SmackDown. One of the best TV matches in WWE history. And this was Meltzer who mentioned this.
Yeah. Yeah, most of your rankings come from Meltzer as far as like those matches. If you're looking for a ranking of them, most rankings will happen from.
That's a good point, no doubt.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, it was a good moment. That was the beginning of that was at the beginning of Dynamite. That was one of those things.
Yep. Some really good matches out there. There's more shitty ones, but we could do next time them shitty matches, the ones that disappoint. I think Goldberg versus Gunther is probably one of them out there, and the most shittiest matches of the year.
So also, we talked about a little bit earlier, but apparently it looks like Masha Slamovic's TNA contract is up soon.
Ooh, I thought you were gonna say they
She
fired her.
was out of the country. No, she was out of the country and not planned for the invasion angle. Anyways, she was never planned to be there. It had nothing to do with this. But obviously, if she was, it probably would have. And then they said something else. So let me check my Fightful Select here.
You know, another good one that I recently happened, which was pretty good. I have to say, Dom Mysterio versus a Gran Vikingo. That match was pretty good. It was a pretty good match for a AAA match. It was actually
and the 4-way was pretty good too. With that, before that, when Dom lost with the AJ Styles interference,
yes,
I thought that was pretty good. I mean, again, you know, the whole thing that nobody likes Vikingo kind of throws things off with that because we're so used to like people kind of, you know, gnarling at Dom, and over there it's like he's a hero because he's beating up Vikingo all the time. So
a question for you now that we're talking about it, and I mentioned the Americanos. Who do you think are the other two Americanos under those masks?
Pete Dunne and the other one I don't know. I don't know who the
You
other
think
one.
that's Pete Dunne?
Yes, he's cut his hair. He cut his hair short now.
Does his
Hold on a minute. Let me see if
does
I can
his,
find an action.
does the figure, no homo, of the two guys look like one of them like Pete Dunne?
One of them kind of does, yeah.
I thought it was one of the guys from that tag team that Chad Gable was in, but I one of them because the other guy's too tall. I forgot their names. I thought one of them was one of them.
Well, no, but it wouldn't have been. You're talking about the that guy hurt his neck though. He hasn't wrestled in forever. Or wait, which tag team are you talking about with Chad Gable?
The one that was with Chad Gable and they were all Americans that they before Chad Gable moved on to become the Grand Americano.
The Creed brothers?
The Creed brothers. I thought it was one of the Creed brothers. I thought one of them.
But they were short though, weren't they?
Well,
like when I looked at
one of them is short and the other one is tall. So I don't. The tall one wasn't the one I was thinking about. I was thinking about the smaller one. That guy. I was thinking that maybe he's one of the Americanos. That's what I thought maybe. But then I was like, it would make sense to bring both of them. But I don't know. Butch is a Grande Americano. I wonder if they were gonna go ahead and identify them and like reveal their identities. That'd be pretty funny if they do. Because I was thinking Dom, but no way, Dom, the hair and all that stuff. No way, he's on there. And I was trying to look at again, no homo, their figure to see who kind of fit the profile. I don't have a photo of.
You know what's funny? I put in who were the 3 El Grande Americanos, right?
Yeah.
You know what they said?
Who are they?
Well, they show the pictures of them, but 3 names pop up underneath to hit. It's Ludwig Kaiser,
Of course.
Pete Dunne, Rey Mysterio.
Nah, you can't do Ray. Ray's too small. He's too small. I figured you were gonna say that. I figured you were gonna.
But it's funny when you look at them. Like it's weird. Like I think they might be throwing different people under each time.
It could be. They could do that. That would be pretty smart of them if they did that, because then they'll keep us guessing. Because I know Chad Gable hasn't been back.
You know what? Somebody put Tyler Bate. Like here's another one. I don't know if you can see it though, but
okay, that's not bad. What if Gable comes back and leads an army of Grandes? That would be funny.
Oh man, that would be so good. But who would it be like? Who would he feud with? Who would they feud with?
I'm trying. Hold on. When you asked that question? Did you ask it on the website or did you ask ChatGPT?
I put in Google. Who is the 3 El Grande Who are the 3 El Grande Americanos?
Okay, yeah. I asked ChatGPT and it was telling me Chad Gable, Luther Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate. Los Americanos. Not bad. The Wyatts. What if Gable
No,
comes
man, you can't do the Americanos against the Wyatts.
That's a funny one.
No.
They need. I mean, the Americanos could grow, man. I'm telling you. You know what? I thought about the Americanos. I kind of thought about Eminem. Remember Eminem when he has a "I'm Slim Shady" and he has all the M&Ms come out. I think it was on an
Yeah,
MTV show. He did that. That was pretty cool. It reminded me of that. I was like, I wonder if they're gonna keep adding more and more Americanos. That'd be pretty funny. And you saw they did the little promo for the Americanos on Monday night,
yeah.
so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. But I wonder when Gable comes back if Gable gets thrown in with the Americanos,
You should.
or if he fights to be like, I am El Grande Americano, like he rats on himself, like I am really El Grande Americano. And they start the storyline that way where it's, how are you El Grande Americano? That's El Grande Americano.
They
And
could go
that's El
different.
Grande Americano.
They could go different forms with when different angles with that story. Definitely. And I'm shocked at how big El Grande Americano is in
You know what?
Mexico.
There's 3 El Grande Americanos, right? And then there's Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. USA
Maybe.
against USA.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hey.
That's a good one. El Grande Americano versus the Creed brothers and Chad. It's not a bad idea. Anything else you wanted to cover before we end the show?
I'm just trying to follow up here on this Masha stuff real quick, see if there's anything else new in here.
Pretty interesting.
Roman Reigns is set to finish filming Street Fighter tomorrow.
There you go.
PWI Insiders reported we can confirm that he's not expected to be on SmackDown this week.
Mm.
So TNA is launching an investigation. WWE's paused any plans with Masha. So that's where that stands
I
now.
feel bad for her, man. I feel bad for her. I mean, granted, I don't justify her doing that, but still, I feel bad for her.
Your actions get consequences, man. Your actions get consequences. The only thing I don't like is that you're talking a January incident, and now you're waiting till September, and that's and then then she wasn't in the position she is now. You waited till she got into a position, and then you put it out there to just tear everything down. Which again, should have been put. She shouldn't have put herself in that position, but that's what happened there. It looks like. Also, don't forget this week, man. Bro, we didn't do our NXT picks.
There's a pay-per-view for NXT this week
here in Fort Lauderdale, buddy. No Mercy.
That's this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
No Mercy is this weekend. I haven't guys. I have, as I told you early on, I've been looking for a car because of a car accident I was in. So it was like I haven't been able to I'm catching up with wrestling as much as I can just to get through it, but. I didn't know.
We'll run through them real quick and then we'll end it.
I don't
Josh
know.
Briggs versus Javon Evans.
I'll go with Javon Evans on that one.
Yeah, I am too. Weaponized steel cage match.
Okay.
Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe.
I gotta give it to Blake Monroe.
I don't know. I think Jordan finally gets. Blake has been getting the best of her.
Okay.
I think this way she doesn't take a clean victory. It's weapons.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Jordan Grace on that one. Listen to this, buddy. The NXT Women's Speed Championship.
I saw that. They've been
Sol Ruca versus Laney Reed.
Oh, if Sol Ruca loses to Laney Reed, I'm gonna be pissed. I got Sol Ruca winning that one. Zarya gets involved.
I think it was interesting last night. Fatal Influence talked to her. JC Jane. Her and JC Jane had a good conversation, and then all of a sudden, Jessamine Duke is out. I wonder if Laney Reed becomes the new member and they help her win the Speed Championship. I'm going to go with Laney Reed. Ethan Page, Tavion Heights, the North American Championship. Tavion Heights made him tap out last night as dressed as Dr. Wagner Jr.
Oh, sweet. Man, that show last night must have been really good then. You know what, man? I mean, look, I like Ethan Page, but Tavion Heights is really good, and I like him a lot. I'm gonna go with Tavion Heights.
Yeah, I almost feel like the way this angle's been going, he's like, I'm the #1 North American pro wrestler. Ethan Page is doing all that stuff. Tavion Heights is a pretty good, accomplished U.S. athlete himself. So I'm going to go with you. I agree with you. I think Tavion Heights takes it.
Didn't they do that flag match too?
Yeah, Tavion Heights won that one.
Yeah. That was a good match. I actually
it was decent. Not one of the top 5, but it was good for 2025.
Definitely not top 5.
JC Jane, the champion, taking on Mrs. 305, Lola Vice.
You know, I would love to see Lola Vice win it, but there's no way they're gonna let Lola promote. I've seen some of the promos out there, but it's just I think she'll do a great showing for the Florida fans out there, and but at the end of the day, JC Jane wins this.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna go Sol Ruka. I'm gonna go Sol Ruka. That's who I'm gonna go with. Yeah. No, Lola Vice. I'm taking Lola Vice in this one.
Damn, you really think they're gonna put him?
Yeah, I do. She's saying again, Stephanie Vecchio. What happened? Her dad was there, right?
Yeah.
And they put the title on her. Her whole family's gonna be there, man. You got it. Come on, mom, sisters.
They spoke that Lola Vice's sister was gonna probably now be added to that.
She might be coming in. Yeah,
she might. Yeah.
I wonder if she helps out. Like Fallon Henley goes to interfere, and her sister jumps the barricades, tackles her down. JC Jane's left by herself. Big ass booty bump. Bam! Lola Vice 1, 2, 3.
Big booty bump. I love it. I mean, her sister's cute as hell too. So I'll take
Bring it back, man. Iceman King Parsons used to use the bump as a finish. Bring it back. That is the perfect person to put it on. The NXT Championship, Oba Femi takes on Ricky Saints. And last night, by the way, TNA, NXT fighting it out in the ring. Ricky Saints all dressed up, comes walking around the ring, strutting over to the NXT title on the stand. He grabs it. All of a sudden, from the ground, Oba Femi's hand just reaches up and grabs it and then pulls it away from him, and then he holds it up. It was pretty good. It's pretty decent ending at that, I think.
Nice.
It's kind of funny because you're seeing everybody else fighting behind him, and those two are just standing at each other, just looking at each other. Like.
That's pretty cool. Look, man, I really like Ricky Starks. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. And he's been trending in the right direction, but come on, man, Oba Femi, bro. There's just no way Oba Femi loses this. So I got Oba Femi beating Ricky Starks. You
know what? I mean, look, if you want Oba Femi to go up, I just don't know how you do it clean. That's the thing. Like, Oba Femi's something's got to happen for Ricky Saints to beat him. Maybe, you know what? Maybe you're right. Oba Femi should have came out with Brock Lesnar, cross pass, and then Brock Lesnar would have been there at the War Memorial Auditorium and did the F5 and then taken out. Actually, it's not at the War Memorial. Where are they at?
They're not at the War Memorial?
Oh, no, I think they are. They're at the War Memorial, I think.
Yeah, it is at the War Memorial, dude. Yeah, Fort Lauderdale War Memorial. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Hard Rock Live is AEW.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then now you have Brock Lesnar show up at the War Memorial. F5 Oba Femi, Ricky Saints wins the title.
That would have been good.
But they didn't do that. So now how do you do? How do you get the title on Ricky Saints so you can bring Oba Femi up?
Nah, man. You don't bring Oba Femi up. You keep him in NXT as the champion. Are you posing
Oba
like
Femi all day.
Like Ricky Starks? Is that
Oba
what
Femi all day? Yeah.
I like Ricky Starks, but he's just not. You can't beat.
I mean, they even gave him a vignette. They gave him a vignette last night about his hometown of New Orleans. Nolans. That's why I'm from Nolans.
Damn. Where's Trick Williams? Maybe he'll
get Dead Revitalization WAP.
That's the only way.
Joining in the chat.
That's the only way Ricky Starks might win. Trick Williams gets involved or something. He pops out of somewhere because they still have beef. That's the only way I see maybe Oba Femi losing.
It's what for dinner.
Huh?
Beef. It's what for dinner.
Yeah, I guess.
Frankie Fresco, let them know where they can see you, sir.
You guys are more than welcome to follow me at Fresco Music. Fresco right there, right? And you could always catch the Cameo Mix Show. It actually just started 8 o'clock. So if you go to my social media platforms on my IG, I posted the link. That way you could tune in. And then, guys, I see the numbers here, but we also need some likes. So if you get a chance, please go on YouTube, hit the like button. That way you could support Sean and myself.
We'd appreciate that. You can check me out at Stanley Media _11 on X. We appreciate everybody that's watching on X. I'm at Stanley Media House everywhere else. Stanley Media House Network on YouTube and the Facebook page, Stanley Media House. I want to boost that up a little bit. Help me out on Facebook. If you're 55 or older and you're still on Facebook, please go to the channel, hit the page and hit the like. It is a page, so if you can, please hit that one. And Adrian, thank you, sir, for being the first like.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Adrian. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you and all that you do for us.
Yeah.
Frankie Fresco, any parting shots?
Mike McDaniel will not get fired this year. He will be getting fired in the middle of next year or after 2026.
Anything else? You want to throw everything out? You want to throw anything out there? You know?
No, I'm just saying that because I told
We're
you.
going to talk about what happened on Saturday.
I don't know what happened on Saturday. I bought my car.
You don't know
I
what
bought my
happened
car.
on
I bought my car. Yes, correct. I bought
You
my
bought
car.
your car.
I bought
And
my
you know
car.
what happened? You ran over the Gators on the way out.
No.
Oh, no, that was the Hurricanes. I'm sorry.
I bought my car. Thanks for reminding us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Canes over the Gators.
Go FSU.
Amazing. Oh, that's right. That's your number 2 team now this year, right?
They've
It
always
was
been my number 2
Louisville.
team. They've always
It was
been my number 2.
Louisville. It was who else? Who's been some of your teams in college football?
Sean, why don't you just go and pull a Pat McAfee and go get some Speedos and dive yourself? But instead of diving into the pool, just dive yourself into the grass. How about that?
Frankie Fresco, why don't you go kiss my mofo ass?
Later.